Park to celebrate the unique honor for the NFL Hall of Famer. Green spent his entire career with Washington for 20 years and is also a two-time Super Bowl champion. Well, since then, he and his nonprofit have been helping D.C. Housing Authority as they work to uplift D.C. youth. D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser presented Green with the key to the city, saying that he represents D.C.'s values.
It's my pleasure now as your mayor to do something I've only done just a handful of times before. I got to tell you, I'm stingy with this key. This key represents the spirit of Washington, and it's my honor today to introduce the Darrell Green with the key to Washington, D.C.
Green says that this honor is different compared to his Hall of Fame induction, since it's him being recognized as a human. Well, the celebration.
The Washington football community recently witnessed a heartwarming and well-deserved honor for one of its most cherished figures, Darrell Green. He was presented with the keys to the city on Saturday afternoon, and on Sunday at Northwest Stadium at halftime in a game against the Carolina Panthers. Darrell Green's iconic jersey was retired, cementing his place in the stories and the franchise story history. Additionally, the city of Washington, D.C. bestowed upon him with the key to the city in recognition to his impact on and off the field. For over 2 decades, he was the face of consistency, athletic excellence, and leadership for the Washington football franchise. His story is one that exemplifies determination, athleticism, and an enduring connection to a single franchise, which is rare in today's sports. And so we're going to talk about the remarkable career of Darrell Green, his significance in Washington football, and his lasting legacy in the NFL. So he was born on February 15, 1960, Houston, Texas. A natural athlete, his speed became his defining characteristic from a young age. However, it wasn't until college that his future in football began to truly take shape. He attended Texas A&I University, now Texas A&M Kingsville, where he initially walked onto the football team. Despite his small stature at 5'9" and 184 pounds, his blistering speed and instinctive play quickly caught the attention of scouts. At A&I, he excelled as a track star and as a football player. His speed was otherworldly, clocking in at 4.29 in the 40, a time that will become a part of his legend. His athletic gifts, combined with his hard work, earned him All-American honors in both track and football. By the time he entered the 1983 NFL Draft, he was ready for the professional stage. So the time when they were known as the Washington Redskins, they took a chance on Green, selecting him with the 20th overall pick in the first round of the 1983 NFL Draft. Many teams were hesitant due to the size, but Washington saw something in him, and his rookie season quickly proved him right. His NFL debut was the Monday Night Football game against the Dallas Cowboys. In that game, he famously chased down Hall of Fame running back Tony Dorsett on a 70-yard sprint, solidifying his reputation as one of the fastest men in the NFL. That play became a part of NFL folklore and was just the beginning of an incredible career. Now, throughout his 20-year career, his speed remained unmatched. His rare ability to accelerate and close gaps allowed him to blanket receivers, neutralize deep threats, and cover ground that few other cornerbacks could. His incredible pursuit of receivers and returners showcased not only his physical gifts, but also his football IQ and dedication to studying opponents. He wasn't just fast, he was consistent. For 2 decades, he never had a season where his play significantly declined, and that was a testament to his work ethic and preparation. In fact, he played so well for so long that he became known as the NFL's ageless wonder. He holds the record for playing in 20 consecutive NFL seasons, all with Washington. His list of accomplishments is as long as it is impressive. He was a 7-time Pro Bowler, earned All-Pro honors four times during his career. He helped lead Washington to a victory in Super Bowl 22 in 1987, where his crucial interception in the NFC Championship game against the Minnesota Vikings was instrumental in their path to the title. His second Super Bowl victory came in 1992, where Washington defeated the Buffalo Bills in Super Bowl 36. I take that back, Super Bowl 26. By this point, he has solidified himself as one of the best cornerbacks in NFL history. He has 54 career interceptions, which he returned for a franchise record 621 yards and 6 touchdowns. In addition to his defensive prowess, he was also a dangerous punt returner with 2,163 career punt return yards and 2 touchdowns. Perhaps one of his most iconic moments came in the 87 divisional playoff against the Chicago Bears. Playing with a wrist injury, he returned a punt 52 yards for a touchdown, giving Washington the lead in the hard-fought playoff victory. And that was the year that Walter Payton retired. And I think the Chicago Bears was the #1 seed that year. 87 season was a shortened year due to the strike. But yeah, Washington ended up becoming Super Bowl champions after they defeated the Chicago Bears in Chicago. And then in the NFC Championship game, they beat the Minnesota Vikings. Off the football field, his contributions to D.C. and the surrounding communities has been equally significant. He has not long been known for his dedication to charity and youth outreach. In '88, he founded the Darrell Green Youth Life Foundation, which focuses on mentoring and educating young people in underserved communities. His foundation has been a pillar of support for Washington's youth, providing educational resources, leadership training, and character development. His influence in the community has only grown since his retirement. His commitment to public service has earned him numerous accolades, including NFL's Walter Payton Man of the Year Award '96, which recognizes a player for his excellence on the field and his impact off of it. His final season came in 2002, marking the end of an era for Washington football. At 42 years old, he had defied the odds and father time to continue playing at a high level. When he retired, he left behind a legacy of unmatched longevity, consistency, and leadership. No other player in NFL history has played as many consecutive seasons for a single team as Darrell Green. After his retirement, the accolades poured in. He was inducted to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2008. In his first year eligibility, his impact on the game was undeniable, and he was celebrated not just for his statistics, but for the way he carried himself throughout his career. And a fitting tribute to his incredible contribution to both Washington football and the city itself, Darrell Green's jersey was retired during the halftime game against the Carolina Panthers. The ceremony was emotional. Fans and former teammates gathered to honor a man who had given so much to the franchise and to the community. The moment was made even more special when he was presented with the key to the city of Washington, D.C., the symbolic gesture recognizing his contributions not just as an athlete, but as a leader and a philanthropist in the nation's capital. So, appreciate everyone for tuning in on this Sunday evening. We're here to recognize one of the most legendary and iconic NFL players, and as a guy who exemplifies leadership and character and honor and respect. When I grew up, I watched him play for the Washington Redskins. I'm a New York Giants fan. I hated playing against the Redskins because I knew how good this team was. Every year in the 80s, this team was a perennial playoff contender and a threat to reach the Super Bowl, in which they did. They was able to defeat the Denver Broncos 42-10 in Super Bowl 22. But let's get a glimpse of what Darrell Green had to say after he had his jersey retired.
Darrell, when fans come to the stadium months, years down the line, and they see your name, they see your number in the stadium, what do you want them to think about or remember you?
When they named Route 28 with 100% vote in the State House in Virginia, Route 28 in Loudoun County, Darrell Green Boulevard, I thought to myself, that this is a road that probably had slaves walking on it, that I'm alive, that they're going to say, as they drive down that road, and it's only about 5 miles, I think. If they get to 1 mile, oh yeah, Darrell Green, they talk about the touchdown, the running down this net. Then another mile. I used to say that I hope that before they get to the end of that mile, 5 miles, they would ultimately say, man, but you know what, man, the guy was a great husband, support the community, he loved God, that they would get to the Darrell Green piece of me. So when they do that, and they got a whole 4 quarters to think about it, they will think about, man, that game and that game. Did you see him do that? And somewhere in that conversation, they're going to say, man, they're going to say this guy cared. They're going to say this guy took what he had. He took all this fame and celebration and resources, and he wasn't just chewing it up for himself and his own family, but he was giving it away. He was trying to make sure that that little boy was okay too, that that little kid had mental health support, that that grandmother could get some money in her pocket and get her notes paid, that that little boy could learn how you don't have to do this and do that. You don't have to do, I don't do drugs, never in 40, 30, 64 years. Thank you. Never in 64 years. And I'm successful, I guess. I mean, I played in the NFL, I'm faithfully married. I'm not a drug guy. I didn't never have to do any of that, never. I didn't have to cheat on my wife. I didn't have to smoke dope. You don't have to smoke marijuana. Hello? You don't have to get high. You can use your own mind, and God can help you. So that is what, when that flag go up, they talk, because I had a lot of years that they can talk about it, a lot of games. I think I played more games on defense than that.
His legacy transcends the sport of football. He will forever be remembered as one of the greatest cornerbacks in NFL history. And, you know, one of the things I always talk about is the fact that when you have a legend such as a Darrell Green, you cannot tell the story of the NFL without him being in it. You cannot. You just can't. There's no way you can accurately tell the story of the National Football League and at the same time omit the impact and the legacy that Darrell Green has left behind. Now, I'm not a Washington Redskins, Washington football team, or Washington Commanders fan by any stretch of the imagination. But at the same time, I can admire, honor, and respect what this man has contributed to the game and what he has contributed to the community, because not a whole lot of people can say that. In a world where we are consumed by negativity and we are consumed by gossip and other things that are destructive, especially within the Black community, for once, it is nice to sit back and revere what a man Darrell Green was on the football field, and even more so, how much of a humanitarian he is to this present day, of the selfless devotion that he has to his community and to the DC area. As Washington football fans and the broader NFL community reflect on Darrell Green's remarkable career, it's clear that his contributions to the sport and the community will be remembered for generations to come. From being a rookie speedster who chased down legends to becoming a legend himself, Darrell Green's journey is one of inspiration and greatness. With his jersey retired and his keys to the city in hand, he stands as an eternal symbol of what it means to be a Washington football legend, a true Hall of Famer on and off the field. You guys let me know what y'all think about this. This is such an momentous occasion, right? And the Washington Commanders did beat the brakes off the Carolina Panthers to the tune of 40-7. And they now sit at 5-2, all alone atop of the NFC East. If you're not subscribing to this channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and share these videos on your social media platforms. Shouts out to the LDBC. This your man. Scream at me. Hurry!